Ever wonder how a single dramatic act can ignite a continent-wide inferno? Let's travel back to 1618, to a castle in Prague, where a handful of furious nobles did something so shocking, it plunged Europe into one of the deadliest conflicts in its history, the 30 Years' War. This is the story of how throwing a few men out of a window set a whole continent on fire. Imagine this. It's May 23, 1618. A group of Protestant Bohemian nobles storms into Prague Castle. They're livid. The powerful Catholic Habsburgs have been chipping away at their religious freedoms, and now they've gone too far, ordering Protestant churches to be shut down. Tensions are at a boiling point. The nobles confront two Catholic governors, Jaroslav Bozida of Martinice and Vilém Slavata of Chlum, along with their secretary. An argument erupts, accusations fly, and then the unthinkable happens. The nobles grab the officials and hurl them one by one out of a third-story window, a staggering 70 feet down. This wasn't the first time Czechs had thrown officials out of windows. It was a tradition known as defenestration. Miraculously, all three men survived the fall. Catholic propagandists claimed they were saved by the gentle intervention of angels. Protestants, on the other hand, quipped that they landed in a massive pile of horse manure in the castle moat. Divine intervention or disgusting cushion, the outcome was the same. The act of defenestration was a spectacular, undeniable declaration of war. There was no going back. The Bohemian Revolt had begun. The Bohemians didn't just throw the emperor's representatives out the window. They threw out his authority too. They formally deposed the staunchly Catholic Ferdinand II as their king. In his place, they elected a new Protestant monarch, Frederick V, the Elector Palatine. Frederick was young, ambitious, and, crucially, the son-in-law of King James I of England. The Bohemians hoped this royal connection would bring powerful allies to their cause. They nicknamed him the Winter King, a title that would prove tragically prophetic, as his reign would barely last a single season. This move to crown a new king was a direct challenge to the established order of the Holy Roman Empire. What started as a local protest over religious rights had now escalated into a full-blown political crisis. The conflict wasn't just about Bohemia anymore. The Protestant Union, a coalition of German Protestant states, backed Frederick. In response, the Catholic League, led by Duke Maximilian of Bavaria, rallied behind Emperor Ferdinand II. Spain, the other major Habsburg power, also sent troops and money to support their Catholic cousins. The spark lit in Prague was spreading, drawing in powers from across the continent. The stage was set for a major showdown. The decisive moment of the Bohemian Revolt came on November 8, 1620, just outside Prague at a place called White Mountain. The hastily assembled Bohemian army, a mix of local troops and foreign mercenaries, faced the disciplined professional forces of the Catholic League and the Imperial Army. The battle was a disaster for the Protestants. In just over an hour, the Bohemian army was utterly routed. The Winter King, Frederick, and his wife fled Prague in such a hurry they left behind the royal insignia. His short-lived reign was over. The aftermath of the Battle of White Mountain was brutal and swift. The Habsburgs' victory was absolute. Frederick was stripped of his lands and titles, becoming an exile for the rest of his life. In Prague, Ferdinand II exacted a terrible revenge. 27 of the leading Protestant nobles who had instigated the revolt were publicly executed in the Old Town Square. Their heads were displayed on the Charles Bridge Tower as a grim warning to any who would defy the emperor. Protestantism was outlawed, and a campaign of forced re-Catholicization began. Tens of thousands of Protestants fled Bohemia, their lands confiscated and given to Catholic loyalists. The Bohemian phase of the war was over, but it had established a terrifying pattern: religious fervor mixed with political ambition, leading to widespread destruction and ruthless repression. The fire started in Prague was now a raging inferno, and it would burn across Europe for another 28 bloody years. The Defenestration of Prague stands as a powerful reminder of how quickly political and religious tensions can explode into violence. It's a story of rebellion, ambition, and tragic consequences that set the stage for one of history's most devastating wars. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of history fascinating, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next dive into the past. See you next time.